Alright folks, it's Random Guy back with John Steele Productions for the second part of the feature film entitled Shooting Wet Newspapers. I've separated the tall stack into two stacks, separating it at 10.5 inches just to make it manageable, and I have taken it home so I can be comfortable while I do this. First shot was the 500 Magnum, which was pretty devastating. I wanted to shoot it first because I thought it would disrupt the stack the most. This is the 44 Magnum, also pretty bad. 300 blackout. First, the 9mm was the only factory load. It went in pretty cleanly. The 40 Smith & Wesson hand load had a little blowback. Looks like the first round to stop, I've leafed through a little bit, leafed ahead. The 9mm was the first to stop at about 7 inches. Then the 40 around 10 inches. The 44 Magnum at 11.5 inches. The 300 blackout appears to be in the lower stack at 12.5 inches. And the 500, I'm not certain, but I believe it is in the dirt. It completely penetrated the entire stack. We'll leaf through to get to the first bullet, which is at 7 inches, just to look at the wound track, so to speak. Here's roughly 1 inch. 44 Magnum is totally blown up. 500 is, you can easily stick your finger in that hole. The 40 is surprisingly potent. 9mm has expanded some, it looks like. 300 blackout, not fully expanded, it doesn't look like. Going down to 2 inches. Ceramic tile markers. The 500 is crushing its way through. The 40 is making a large impact. 44 Magnum has absolutely blown up like a grenade. Not unlike the 300 blackout, which is probably coming apart at this point. And the 9mm is starting to have some real effect at this point. So, on to around the 3-inch mark. Okay, the blackout is in effect. It is delivering the 1,000 foot-pounds of energy that it carries. The 44 Magnum appears to have calmed down some. 500 crushing its way on through, as is the 40. 9mm, actually, it's spreading out. I expect it made a really nice mushroom down here somewhere. To 4 inches now. The blackout still blowing up. 44 Magnum calming down. 500, 40, 9mm. To about the 5-inch mark. Everyone's settling in and penetrating now, except for maybe the blackout, which is still shredding things. 500 is doing a lot of damage. 6 inches. Just a continuation, pretty much. We might have I thought we had the tail end of the Barnes bullet. Everything's just proceeding as normal. At 7 inches, we should have the 9mm bullet. I see it right there. We'll pluck that out. It has expanded very nicely. Quite photogenic. Probably retained its entire weight, and as I said, penetrated 7 inches. Put it in its place, and look at the rest at 7 inches. Yep, everything's pretty calm. Got a little fragmentation from the 300 blackout. Large hole from the 500. Going to 8 inches. Next bullet should be the 40 at around 10 inches. Oh. Okay, here we are at 8. Yeah, 9 is gone, of course. Everything else is just smashing on through. Okay, so to approximate 9 inches. No, we've gone too far. The 40 is in here somewhere. Okay, there's another 1/2 inch. I can see the base of the 40. It appears to be in a rather hefty section of Sunday paper. Yep, there she is. That is the 40 caliber XTP. Picture perfect. Is mushroomed very well. Pretty much intact. I haven't seen any fragments of it up to this point. And that was roughly 10 inches. From here on, we have only the 500, 44 Magnum, and the 300 Blackout. See another large fragment from the Blackout here. Sorry about the shaky camera. Yeah, large piece of jacket. It's still around 10 inches. Okay, we'll move on into the second stack now, which started somewhere around 10.5 inches. Peeking ahead at, we'll say 11.5 inches, there's the 44 Magnum making its presence known. That is the gold dot bullet. Looks like it's lost considerable weight. That's what happens when a bullet blows up like a grenade. Got the trademark gold dot in the center of the hollow point there. And it is all over at 11.5 inches for the 44 Magnum. From here on, we have the 300 Blackout and the 500 Smith & Wesson. According to my records, the Blackout stopped at about 12.5 inches. Which must be in this large section of paper. Yeah, nothing but bruising there. Let's see what we can find in here. Sorry, I'm doing all this one-handed. Camera girl is having a nail job done. Okay, there is the core of the V Max bullet, which is probably the end of its penetration. Not an enormous amount left. Still in very nice shape though. At 12.5 inches, according to my records. Now, let's look and see what we can find of the 500 Magnum. It's just settled down to bore its way through. The total stack is about 18.5 inches, as I said from the start. No real drama from here on, just punching a big hole. Yep, still just paper. On and on and on. As I said, this is basically a bear defense load. Maybe elk, moose. Okay, we're near the end. 18 inches. And yeah, it's out the back door. Must have buried itself. I didn't see a hole in the dirt, but that's where it is. Hard to tell. 500, we don't know where it ended up. It just goes and goes. Well, YouTubers, I hope this has been entertaining at least. These are loads that I wanted to compare to each other, and maybe you've enjoyed it too. Have a good day.